every time we kind of see each other, we brainstorm about what we're gonna talk, and we're probably not gonna talk about anything that we brainstorm about.
Because I didn't even write any of it down either.
No,
so.
But I mean, we just kind of build from last time.
We did. So, Fred, he has an interesting perspective.
Oh yeah,
he grew up broke. So I don't know if she named names or not. He don't give a shit. His perspective though, he grew up very, very poor.
Yeah.
His mom was an addict, struggled. You know what I'm saying? So his grandparents raised him and stuff like that. Anyway, I wasn't trying to tell a story of him, but he says, if you could ask me what flavored jelly, you were not poor enough. because people that were poor, the peanut butter jelly, there's only one flavor and it's great. If you got strawberry, you're privileged. Not
you
privileged,
had options,
but you had if you had options of strawberry or grape jelly, you had too much money for him.
That's funny.
You know what
that's
I mean?
Funny.
And so that's the only reason why I said that part.
Man, hey, but that is true. There's a lot of things like, oh well, I didn't have an option. You know, like
oh yeah, no, this is it. That's just like how you know how to fix everything or do lots of stuff around the house. And I'll never forget growing up, over to a buddy's house and something's wrong. They're like, oh, yeah, call a plumber. And I'm like, call a plumber?
Yeah.
What do plumbers do? They're like, oh, he's going to fix the toilet. I'm like, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you need to pour a slab out back? Oh, you form it up yourself. You know, you need to fix plumbing? You fix it. Electrical? You fix it yourself. You don't call.
You know, I never, on my end, I don't know, man. I don't recall that stuff, but I guess, you know, there's a saying in Mexican or in Hispanic that, well, the way it say that if you're a metal worker or iron worker or welder, that usually you have a wooden knife instead of a metal, because the thought behind it is that I'm a framer, right? I could build a house, but I ain't fixing nothing in my house.
Right, of course,
yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go spend all day tweaking doorknobs and fixing things that make it better, and then we go to our house and it's like...
Freddie told me about 2 months ago about that door, my deadbolt in my front door, and it's like I still haven't fixed it.
Yeah. I sat down to use the restroom, and I had a toilet roll holder, and I patched the patch, but the paint, I have no color what color that is, and so there's still just a white spot. I mean, it don't look bad. There's just a white spot there. Well, it's not painted. And
you sure there was a toilet paper holder?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't that high. It was down here, but it was on a little wall too, so there's nothing behind it. But I've probably went through, I don't know, hundreds of buckets of paint since I patched that.
Yeah. And you still haven't painted it?
I still haven't painted over it. I could paint the whole bathroom in 2 seconds, or not 2 seconds, but you know, an hour, and have plenty of paint to do it. But is it getting painted? Nah. No.
So. Basic topics, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's just wing it, man.
Tell me what you want to talk about.
Well, I mean, whatever you think can motivate somebody.
Man.
Being uncomfortable. You know.
I learned that last week on my first flight.
Yeah? Was it? Oh, yeah, you got into flying.
I mean, I'm not like disoriented or nothing. Yeah. I'm just a fish out of water.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is, after we landed and I slept a couple nights, in my mind, now I remember, oh, this is what he's talking about. It clicked. It didn't click in the moment. Right?
Well, you know, with the flying thing, it took me about 10 hours for it to click.
Yeah. And that's what a friend of mine said. He said, it's going to be 5 or 10 hours before you fly.
I was like, man, I feel like I feel like nothing, you know, and I flew yesterday, and I said, Jacob, we'll see we'll see how good I retain this. And it helped out. You know, we've been talking about it. It kind of helped out. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, man, you remember this. And
you and I talking about it helped, I guarantee you.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things that I did that I caught my error, you know, when I was doing it. So, for example, we're landing, and there was a slight, you know, crosswind. And the rudder, obviously, like I was telling you, you point your nose. Yeah. And I was kind of a little bit sideways, and instead of pointing my nose, instead of stepping on right rudder, I went left. And as soon as I was landing, so it was weird. I mean, there was a couple of times where I zigzagged on that runway pretty good as we landed. But I mean, I did every landing on my own yesterday.
That's great. Yeah. Can't wait to start landing a while.
It's rough, man. That last one was very humbling for me. When we had those, I was so confident that it was a straight south wind. I was like, oh, it's going to be awesome. But it was like 16, 17 knots.
Did you ever get your headings before you start trying to land, or are you doing touch and goes anyways?
Yeah, I just do
Because you
touch
can
and
get a
goes.
report right from Durant.
Yeah,
Weather,
well, you could.
and it'll tell you what the heading
There's a
on the wind is.
there's a Com 2. You
Just
hit it, and that's the weather update for Durant.
Okay.
But yeah, man, being uncomfortable, right? I think that's a big thing. I mean, if you're if you're not uncomfortable, you're not learning. You're staying the same. If you're staying the same, you're going backwards. That's my thought right now.
Well, you're not staying the same. That's for
Yeah.
sure. It's not a thing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You're going backwards or you're going forwards. You're not
you're
just
not staying the same.
because if you do stay the same, let's just say quote unquote you stay the same, and you're talking about finances, inflation's killing you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you got to be gaining. You can have literally the same dollar in your account as you did a year ago. Now you're backwards.
yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's a hard topic to touch with older Hispanic generations, because they want to have that money saved somewhere.
Yeah. So I kind of got over the fact of having a lot of cash. Okay. It's relative.
Yeah,
Everybody needs enough cash to pay their bills, especially if you're running a business and operating account. But as far as just like having money that I just put just for savings all the time in that savings, it's pretty much non-existent now. Now my checking account goes pretty high and pretty low, pretty
Yeah.
high. But like
pretty
worried
high
about
and severely low.
severely. Everybody's low is different.
Yeah, I know. I learned that too not too long ago.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is having 50K in a savings account over there, for me, it's more like an operating money now. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But all that being said, like a lot of cash, and I know people that do accumulate quite a bit of cash. It's not good, not that good. Now
Yeah.
they're going to say, "Oh, you need cash to buy for that opportunity when the dip and all that." You're a different level of rich by that point.
Yeah.
You know, but until you get to that point, like I think it needs to be working for you, is what I'm getting.
But
at.
I'm sure, if you don't have, let's say an opportunity comes and it's 150K, and for some reason you can't finance it. I mean, if you spent that cash that you would have saved and put it into something good, you can liquidate it really good fast and get that money, right?
or you need three things to do the deal, right? Or there's three things that make a deal, and you only have to have two. So you have to have
Elaborate.
the great idea,
Yeah.
you have to have the financing, then you have to have somebody to do it. So if you're willing to do two out of those three, you can always find the third.
You could close the deal.
You can find it.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you worried about not you're worried about like me worried about having 150K cash sitting there for when that deal pops up. I'm not as worried about it because I know I can facilitate the people to do it, and I know that the idea is good. So the money I can find.
You can find it, yeah.
Right. So whether it's line of credit,
Financing, whatever.
traditional financing. Once you get
Investors.
to a certain point, you have enough people around you that finding
Yeah.
the cash is not that big a deal. And I'm not saying I can just like stroke a check today for something. I would have to bring it to people. They'd have to mull it over. We'd have.
Yeah.
It's not like I have access to a bunch either. And every level you get in your life is a different level. The money that I'm moving around now, I would have thought was not possible when I was 20.
Yeah.
And now I know people that laugh at the amount of money I have, think it's absolutely nothing. Like, why would you even mess with it for that amount? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, the three deals, as long as you can do two, and a lot of times that means your ass is doing the work,
Yeah.
and the idea is good. You know that has a lot to do.
Did
with
we
it.
talk about this last time about
I don't know.
deals and stuff like that? I think we had a conversation
Very little
about it,
bit, yeah.
but it might have been over the phone. Cause I was telling you, I hear people say, I want to find an investor. I want somebody to invest on me. I have this idea, or I just need somebody to give me money. But then again, I they sent me. I saw that picture of you when you started your lawn mowing business.
Oh yeah.
And I said, well, he might have a line of investors right now that's 15, 20 people, right? And they might bring 100, 300, whatever the amount of money it is.
Yeah, no,
But at the end of the day, you didn't get that on your first deal.
Nope.
You had to build a track record.
Yes.
Whether that was your mission or that was your goal to find investors or not, regardless
It
of
didn't
that,
matter.
you have to develop deals.
You need receipts.
Yeah, receipts, exactly.
So, like, I guess this way, if you get after it and just try. So it took me, just because I wanted to build a house, right? Rental property, first thing. Like actual real time took me 25 to 34 to get the first one done.
Yeah.
Now, was I trying to nail nails together?
So 9 years.
But like,
this is 9 years from when the idea sparked.
That's right.
Okay.
And so that's why you got to make it damn sure that you want that idea, right? Yeah. But like, I guess, let's see here. How do I explain it? Started getting stuff in order. Started paying off things.
Yeah.
Went to work for myself. Got as little debt as I could, right? Went and finally had enough money to buy a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And then that lot was my down payment on the house. Put it on the house. Took all my numbers that I gathered from it. Now this is all getting it built, Got it built. Took it to, which happens to be my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And talked to him about it. And he's like, do you think you could duplicate that? I'm like, well, of course. I mean, like.
But see, this isn't just, okay, you're talking about the home process, right?
Yeah.
When you built your first rental.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, you had already a track record with your brother-in-law.
So, yeah. So, in the middle of all that, he figured out that I would hold my own business together, pay my own guys, keep my insurance square, keep my taxes in order. And I'm not talking about not owing somebody or we need to pay somebody off or something like that. As far as I'm talking about, like keeping it all buttoned up to where you're a person that can get money loaned to them.
Yeah.
If you hadn't filed taxes in 7 years and you want a business partner, you're not going to get a loan from the bank unless you can turn in your tax records, even if they're nothing, right?
Yeah.
So just being able to turn them in, keeping your crap together. We're going to what we're aiming for is starting from like nothing, right? Is that what you're?
Well, I guess the topic was more or less, people, somebody might look at you and you mention, oh, I got an investor. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, well, he just had an idea and out of nowhere he found an investor. And I don't, looking at your trajectory and everybody's trajectory, like I see this, and I had this thought too, like where do they find the money? But you start closing enough deals, you start doing, and
so
they're not necessarily big deals, right? Uh-huh. But you start proving, and I feel like that your atmosphere just changes in general. Right? And now I'm a firm believer of you close your first deal and everything else is easy.
I agree.
Well,
okay, so here's what else happened. In the middle of all that, we bought some property.
Yeah.
Already built. Right? And so Colt and I got together, bought some property, and then I was like, I think I could build. That's all I wanted to do anyway, right? And so not being a poop head, getting your stuff together, proving that you can work, sending people stuff. They see your business grow, even if it's just mowing. And then I'll tell you what else I did. During all that mowing, I read books out the rear. Yeah. And I figured out, if you're going to have investors, you're going to have an idea that's worth investing in.
Yeah.
All right. And so like, what is scalable enough for investors? Because it's not scalable if all I can do is mow grass by myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, if I wanted to put on 20 guys and 4 crews and I needed an investor, then that's a little different. But really, he's just getting a percentage on the money and the bank could do that.
Yeah.
So I guess you start talking about real estate. It's something that investors like. And it's also something they can put their hands on. There's something we can sell if we have to.
Yeah.
So getting an idea that needs investors, and I'm not in the space of an app, building apps. There's people that do that nothing before a living. And I think getting that first app going and getting it done is your track record on that. Now, I'm not saying I could teach a school at that by any means, but being able to get an investor is people seen this happen over the course of 9 years, maybe not 9 years, 5 or 6 years of this creating money for people, right? I mean, he's seen me make $2 million gross before we ever even started talking about bringing other people in.
Yeah.
And now, I'm not saying that's a number we need to like.
Yeah, but that sparks, even if it's 100K and you just do it back to back. Yeah. I think it just sparks in general, we go into the law of attraction. I don't know if you believe that or not, but I just think in my simplest definition for law of attraction is people overthink it. And it's like, if you really want something, you start making small changes throughout your days and throughout your, whatever decision making, it kind of leads towards that goal, and you start making better decisions. So if you start a business and you grow it or to 10x, 3x, 2x, whatever it is, people start looking at it and be like, oh, well, he's doing something. So if I have a little bit extra change and he pitches an idea, oh, I like what he's doing and I think it is going somewhere, let me jump in. But I think a lot of people don't see that. I think a lot of people just miss the whole 10 years of trajectory, and they're like, oh, he just got lucky and met this guy. And it's like, oh, well, Colt, your brother-in-law, he's lucky. That's his brother-in-law. He's going to give him all the money in the world.
No.
Like, no.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm bringing value to Colt. Colt's bringing value to me. That's the reason we're partners, right?
Yeah.
Because if it was only the other way, it would just he would just be an investor, right?
Yeah.
But
but even I think even if somebody sees that you have a potential to bring in value, if you don't have a track record, that deal is pretty. It most likely won't happen.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll tell you something else too. And this is a double-edged sword. What I'm about to say.
Yeah.
And I come from a line of talkers. I like to talk, but you can talk too much, right?
Yeah.
And when you're trying to close a deal, don't talk. Right. That's kind of key.
Yeah.
It took me forever to learn this. But also, though, when you get around the right people that could potentially be something one day to help you, you need to state your ideas in a way. I don't think getting a microphone and going to the things and I'm going to buy houses, I'm going to build houses, and or else at a picket line.
Yeah.
But when you're around people that have rental property and you want to be a rental investor yourself, you say, hey, thinking about getting a couple houses, anything I should stay away from, anything I should look to. And they're going to tell you their spiel. I'm not saying take it. I'm not saying use it. But now in their mind, when they see you next time, they know
you're part of the
group. You're part of the group.
Yeah.
Right. And so then here's what happened to me a lot. I talked to this one banker over and over, and I think he kind of got tired of me talking to him. Right. And so nowadays he won't do a deal with me hardly. I mean, he would, but he sees all the other deals I'm doing. Yeah. And he's just like, man, missed the boat. You know, like I didn't realize him talking about it because I talked to him about it for a year before I pulled the trigger. Well, then the next time you see somebody that's in that realm, you say, yeah, hey, I pulled the trigger, got me one, got me two, doing this, doing that. Everything's going kind of horrible or it's going great, whatever it's going. And they're going to like speak. And then before you know it, they talk to their buddy. Like it's a small group no matter where you go, how big the city, I think. Like you got to start getting, well, it's the same thing when you start building. Like how many of the people in the building world do we know in this county?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. My circle was small. Right. I think I've always had a small circle, but the circle I had was not my circle. Now, if I look at it, the people that I talk to, there's but it's, I don't want to sound like I'm showing off or anything, but the net worth of my group has increased
mine too.
Significantly,
And ours has too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like we're lagging behind. I mean, I'm behind. I feel like I'm always behind, but I think that's just how you're supposed to feel.
I think so too.
Talk to those people. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't be scared to state your intentions. You're going to get shot down. There's going to be a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to change toilets at 3:00 in the morning, unclog a toilet. Like, well, neither do I. I mean,
terrible teas or whatever. Yeah.
You're going to have like naysayers.
Termites, tenants, and toilets.
And toilets, the 3 T's.
But it's a proven business. I think there's pros and cons with everything.
Let's don't sugarcoat it. We're giving loans to people that can't qualify for them.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bad thing. We're providing a structure, a place to live for somebody that can live in, and we're just hoping to shave a little off and plus pay for the place.
Yeah.
We're not getting stupid, crazy rich here. But really and truly, now it depends on their part of their life. They could be young going to college or something like that. But like I have tenants 10 years, they're never going to buy because they don't qualify to buy. But they love renting from me, because I try to take care of them best I can.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm providing them a service, and they're providing me a service. I don't feel like I'm like nobody's getting over on anybody here.
I have a great tenant, man. The one back home, back in Texas, he's great.
Yeah.
You know, there might be a little bit of a mess outside or something.
Oh, yeah, that's just...
But some breaks, he'll call and be like, hey, man, I'll be like, hey, I got somebody on it. Oh, no, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, how much are you? Oh, man, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
And so when you
I think he does it so I can stay away.
There you go.
But, you know,
you know what you said. Yeah.
I've been down there, and I mean, the house is pretty, it's well kept. You know, he's helped me out fixing things that have gone wrong. The outside, it's just grass. It's 15 acres. I mean, I can't, you know, I ain't worried about it. Grass is grass.
If it grows up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so back to the telling people, you can tell people your wins, and sometimes it's not good, man.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it could be even in your family. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But like, if I could, let's just say, so what I call closed deals is people that I'm going to build a house for, that I sold them the lot, we closed the deal, the construction loan's ready, I'm ready to start, right? And I could tell somebody, hey, I got 3 of those closed last week, and they're like, oh my God, you don't have enough time. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just don't know, you know? And it's like, hey, this is what I wanted. Like, this is good. Be happy, you know?
Yeah.
And so,
oh, man, I know.
but you get all reactions from that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you start going out, busting your hump. You get the thing. Now the investors, you get one coming in, don't screw it up. Eat it. I ate it on my first one to the tune of, I don't know, $5,900
Yeah.
in the hole. Is that big a deal? Nah.
Well, this is, you just proved my point that I tell everybody. If you value money more than your mission,
Oh, yeah.
you're done.
No,
You're done.
I agree. The money will come.
Yeah.
That's what I finally figured out. Do the right thing to the best of your ability. Build a product you said you're going to build. And the person that's buying it from you, when you go up on the next one, they're not going to be mad. Now, I'm not saying we need to go up on everyone because I don't, right?
Yeah.
I got kind of a number I like to stay at for what I'm doing right now. But those first 2 took it, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we signed a contract for this price. They're getting it. Like, I'm in the story. Now, what happened is I did a lot of the labor, and my guys did too, so we didn't make as much on some of the labor as the other. It's not like I actually just
lost it,
went into money, but I thought I had it, and then it didn't. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But you know what you do? You learn, and you move on. And now me and the city are on the same terms, and I'm not mad like I was during those.
Yeah.
You know, and but so I got that investor happy. And what does he do? Talk to his investor buddy. And so now, how many people do we have from one area out there that I'm pooling from? Well, I mean, if you count couple, so a couple, and then 2 business partners, right? And then another LLC that I build for. And there's some sort of this one's tied into it, but this one's not. I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 individuals.
Yeah.
7 to 10 individuals that pool and are ready to go at all times.
Yeah.
And so now whenever we get I'm trying to go to the next step now. So now I'm in let's do a small development and let's build some to sell, and we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
And I try not to be greedy. People are going to look at you and say you are. I don't care what you do if you do well. But like, I really try to just say, hey, you've been with me. You've helped me. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to try to build it at this price. I'm selling it to you at this price. I think it'll sell at this price. And we're all going to try to make money along the way, a little bit. And the person that buys it is going to pay market value or a little under.
Yeah.
So that's the end product is still, we're not trying to screw people. Like, we're trying to do a good job.
Valuing your mission more than the money.
Yeah. Like, I want to build a place for people to live that's nice, and they could be proud that it's their home, you know. Now, it may only be 4 walls and then rooms inside of it, not elaborate and cut up and 12 pitches and all that, but it's going to be a nice, sound home that they can be proud of.
Well, it's like you said that one time, man, about holding money.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You hold it. You hold it tight. You value that money. You're gonna hold it right here, and nothing comes in.
Nothing
leaves.
Nothing leaves, but nothing comes in.
in.
And that's what, like, oh, I can't spend my savings. It's got to be there.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just open it up, some may go out, but some can come in too. Yeah.
Well, you know, I think one of the greatest things that's changed my mind was going to California when I did about a year ago. Yeah, man. I spent it was total. Right. It's about $7,000 total. And I didn't have it at the time. I was like, well, I guess I'll figure it out. I got a loan, and I left. And, well, I did have a little bit of that. So me and my wife on the way out, we're like, hey, let's stop by, the casino and gamble a bit. And we ended up like 4K. We, that got us through California.
Yeah.
But that just sparked that. And I was like, I told my wife, I said, man, if I would have just been like, no, it's, I can't. If you think that you're not going to get anything good out of nothing, then you're not going to get anything good. It's like they say.
Mindset's the key.
Yeah. What is it? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Mm-hmm. And then I got another one that I've been.
And you can.
And you can too. I got another one that become the person that people say yes to before they know what the offer is.
That's great. I had to give me a second on that.
Become the person people say yes to before they know what the offer is.
I think that there may be a couple that, now they still got to see it on paper, but I think
but you get it already, there, right?
They're a yes when I call.
Yeah.
They're just like, what is it going to be?
And then, I think it's happened to you. You have people that have jumped on board with you because of that. Mm-hmm. So, regardless if they had to see the product, they've already said yes. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we go back to the whole value in money.
Okay.
You rather lose. Honestly, I'm sure if it came to the point where it was, hey man, you know what? We're gonna lose $50,000 on this house or on this project. Mm-hmm. We'll say project because we never know what it is.
Right.
I think I could confidently say that you'd be like, well, I'd rather lose the 50 and we'll figure it out than losing a relationship.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation. Well,
if it's not a malicious or
yeah. Well, so here's we just talked about this, and it just cost me last 2 weeks ago, the Kingston thing.
Oh yeah. So
that road over there, I've got $2,000 earnest money. The guy will not sign the release, even though I optioned out in my option period.
Yeah.
I got $1,600 in a
survey?
Appraisal.
Oh, appraisal.
Yeah. I had to get people to estimate the road because the road wasn't complete.
Yeah.
And we did everything correct. We got under contract with an option. We checked our option. Now, it was towards the end of the option, but that stuff takes a little bit. We exercised our option not to proceed with that deal. And it's costing me at this exact time around $4,200.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully I'll get some of that back if oh boy signs the paper. But like, no matter what, I'm losing an appraisal and losing. So I can't.
And then all the time you spend going out there and running around, right?
If you want to get right down to it, there's a lot of spreadsheet time. There's a lot of looking at floor plan time to figure all that. And that's the stuff we don't think about, but like it costs me. But I did not want to put my investors into a deal to where the county did not have possession of a road.
Yeah.
And somebody could block the people off from the road we were going to try to sell a house on. And then also building a nice home and then across the road is nice stuff, but different, quadplex.
Yeah.
Instead of single family on both sides. And so like that cost me to make sure I didn't keep my investors. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying that stuff.
Well,
that stuff cost me. I would rather lose that $4,200 than get all my guys in a bad deal.
It's like, and you're not gonna go to your investor and be like, oh, by the way, guys, it's 5 of us. We're gonna split the 42 this way.
No, that's not how that works. Yeah. No, I don't do that. No, I would never do that. They would all say, okay, here you go.
Yeah,
but I would never do that. Yeah. Nothing was under contract with them. Nothing. The spreadsheets were drew up. The pamphlets were drew up.
They had said yes.
The potential of I had them all sold.
Yeah.
I didn't have contract yet because I got to clear this deal first.
Yeah.
Right? Close the lot.
The land.
Yeah. And had hard numbers on everything. We're lumber.
I had one of those bought already.
Yeah. We are, starting to figure out how many, trucks and stuff. But that 2.8 that we were going to spend and try to make 3.2, whatever it is. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's gone. I don't think anything about that.
Well, kind of going back to the whole being uncomfortable, man. I think those are all uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
If you run for, look at what happened to me with that triplex.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
Man, you got a dose of uncomfortable there, didn't you?
Yeah, I was. I was stressed, man. My wife's like, man, are you? I said, man, I don't. I mean, this is a big problem for me at this point.
It's gray hair.
Yeah, I got one right here.
I told you,
just for that, right there,
droplet.
somewhere. I said, she's like, man, I could tell you where. And I said, yeah, I mean, it's stressful, but I mean, I ain't gonna bitch out at this point. Might as well. It's worth it. This is what we want, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think it all went better than I expected, right? But if I didn't work, if I could have easily been like, oh, okay, whatever, we get not doing nothing, close it. I mean, you even gave me the option of buying it back.
Oh yeah, I'll buy back.
Yeah, but nah, we're gonna proceed.
Proceed with the plan.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like a dumbass, but who? Thomas Jefferson? Light bulb?
Edison.
See, there we go. Freddie, don't forget to cut that off. So Edison, I was listening. I've been listening to Napoleon Hill on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, quite
Think
a
You
bit.
Grow Rich.
Yeah, well, he's got a series of YouTube videos. I don't even know if it's actual Napoleon Hill, but it talks
probably based off
about,
that book.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, Edison said, I haven't failed 500 times. I've just found the 500 wrong ways to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, so here's what kind of motivates me. Well, everybody has motivations in
Yeah.
their own personal life, but I'm talking about in the grand scheme, holistic view, is. And I was there the other day, and every time I go, it triggers. That's the reason I'm bringing it up. My grandmother's 86.
Yeah.
We sold her house last month. She's in assisted living now. Probably gonna have to go to a nursing home sooner or later. So she's there, 86, and she's, some days she's with it, some days she's not. Love her. She's my grandmother. That was my, like, as a kid, that's your rock grandmother,
Yeah.
Especially my mom's side. So anyway, I was like, I don't want to lay here at 86 whenever I get there and be like, man, should have tried.
Yeah.
What could I have done? Did I give it a go? Or did I wuss out? Let's call it that.
Yeah.
Did I? And so I'm not saying you should go be a dumbass or, just try crazy stuff that probably wouldn't make any sense. But I think going out and trying is better than just not doing anything.
Not doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what am I going to try that I want to do? And, of course, we always talk about the stuff me and you are in because, newsflash, I'm in it because I want to be.
Yeah.
And I like it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my wife's a nurse. She loves it. That's what she does, I could not do that. I mean, I could. I guess we can do anything, but that way, if
you don't like it, then.
But yeah,
if it's not in your, if you're not a slight passionate about it,
right.
You're not gonna.
So,
do
and
it.
a good way to look at that is too. So, some people read for entertainment and stuff.
My
like
wife.
That. Yeah, I mean, and my wife will read thick books for entertainment, right? About different worlds and different views and all. Okay, that's fine. But if you will stop and grab a book to read about it because you're interested in it, that's a good sign you're going to like to do it. Because if you told me I need to read a book on nursing right now, there's absolutely no way I could.
Yeah.
I mean, I might look like I am, but there's no way I'm not comprehending it.
I mean, I struggle reading the books that I'm interested, like the self-development
And audio
books.
books helps on that too.
Yeah.
You can stop and go back. And
Yeah.
I used to have a deal at Audible, and when we mowed, it was in my ear all day.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been listening to those YouTube clips lately. It kind of reels me in, right? It kind of solidifies the struggle.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't think about this till you said that, till we just started talking about it. But while I was mowing, I knew I wasn't going to do that. And so while I was mowing, and I love to make things look pretty and do a good job there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm there, I was in my ear with
the next thing.
Kiyosaki, the Cash Flow Quadrant, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, and all the stuff trying to get my mindset. And I'm not saying I've read so much that it should be over or anything like that, but like I've taken enough that I just need to put it in practice now.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go back and take notes or re-hit highlights. And a lot of those audiobooks, I could go to them right now, and it's probably at a good point where it was like an inflection point, so and I can just back up and listen over and over.
One of the books I just listened to, and I need to finish it. I'm pretty close to finish it. Might just be the credits at the end. The Way of Ronin.
Oh, okay. Spark my memory on it.
Special Forces guy.
Yep.
Asian guy.
Yep.
big into the samurai culture, and he talks about one thing that I got. He said, well, he got out of Special Forces Army. You know, he is bad dude. He struggled with painkiller addiction and stuff like that.
Really, that's a tough one too.
And he says nothing outside of yourself will make you faster, stronger, will benefit you, and everything comes from within. And there's he quoted it from somewhere, right? I think it's a warrior script, Chinese warrior script or something like that.
So nothing outside of you
can improve you. Everything comes from within.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because it's like the old. I didn't know. I didn't want to interrupt you on that. Is that
no? Yeah.
So
no,
the guy I really like, Jim Rohn, he's like, you do all the push-ups you can do. Push-ups. Sorry, I kind of mumbled. Do all the push-ups you can do.
Yeah.
Let's just say I can do 4 in a row, just for example. That's all you can do. But is that all you can do forever? No. Wait a little bit. And then you can do 4 more. Wait a little bit. You can do 10, right?
Yeah.
Nothing outside of that made you do 4 than 10. You know, and I'm not saying you won't get tired like during that exercise, but like you do a little, wait, do a little. What he's trying to say is like where you start where you finish. You can always do more than what you can when you first start. Because so if you're not even good at it right off the bat, just keep doing it.
Yeah, you'll get better.
Take a little bit, do it some more. Take a little bit, do a little bit more. He said because before you know it, you'll be able to do 100 push-ups in a row. You know, in that one specific analogy, right?
Yeah.
Now it might not happen today, and it might not happen tomorrow, but like, you know,
I think that's some of the people's biggest struggle is getting after it. Let me ask you this, man: did you ever feel like I wouldn't say ruin a relationship, but oversold or propose or try to, I don't know how to word this right.
So, are you talking about overpromise and underdeliver?
No. Kind of like. So let me tell you this situation. I think I told you about it already. So I did a job for somebody. Mm-hmm. You know who it is. Mm-hmm. And north of here.
Right.
I mean,
did a good job.
Yeah, great people. Mm-hmm. And this is when I had that great idea of my mentorship program, right? Uh-huh. Which I got a deal and we closed on it, which is awesome. And I think I oversold it. And this is a great person. I think I was thinking more about the money than I was about the relationship. And I might have pushed away the relationship and the money at the same time.
What you're saying is it was almost like you had a preset plan to sell that individual something he may or may not have wanted.
Well, I saw the opportunity, and there's 2 great opportunities there, right? Mm-hmm. One was, to me, my thought process is, one is I sell this service for this amount of money, right? Be done. Mm-hmm. The other route is I build a relationship that may last a year, may last 5 years, may last 10.
Or the rest of your life.
Or
2 weeks.
Yeah, or 2 weeks. But I think when I proposed, I went the other way, and I proposed the deal. And I think when I proposed that deal,
shut down.
It kind of put me in a position of this guy's chasing the money and not relationships.
That's tough.
Have you ever had that happen to you? How do you?
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So.
And I think just to kind of, I think this deal has been salvaged. Not the deal itself, but the relationship. Because I caught myself after I done it. I reeled myself in and I refocused. And I'm not saying I'm trying to take advantage of nobody.
No,
by
I know
no
you're
means,
not. No,
right? But at the end of the day, a relationship is a relationship, right?
Oh, yeah.
And as long as we provide ourselves, I think I'm a firm believer that when you start a relationship with somebody, if you bring value to them and they bring value to you, the relationship will continue. Mm-hmm. Whether that turns into a friendship relationship or I think this is what kind of happened with us as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
whether it turns into a friendship or a strictly business, or the business grows to bigger business, I think that's all in the future.
I mean, just like, okay, when you and I met and you said, hey, you want to build some fences? Well, immediately I feel like, okay, I need to hold strong and try to get the price right from the beginning. So I'm going to probably seem not like the guy that I seem to you right now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go into it as like a pushover, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, like, well, I don't know. We'll have to try and see and, give me a price. Give me a price. I'm like, man, I don't know, and then finally we agreed on a price. It's like, you give me a price, You're like,
always, never a negotiation, never talk first.
Yeah. And so that's probably why it took us so long. So anyway, we finally got on the deal, and I went and did it, and we kind of tweaked a few things. I think it's great. You think it's great? Everybody, it's a good deal,
Yeah.
And then so for that point forward, everything else, it's like you can kind of let your guard down. Also, in our industry, we always have to be in the back of our mind that people are always asking a question because of a question, that they're trying to undermine you, get you to do something cheaper, get you to do something more expensive, catch you in and I don't have to worry about that with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I can actually just be straight up with you and tell you. You can be straight up with me and tell me now. But at first, you don't know that.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to not. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think you're all right on that. But I have screwed up some relationships hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
What do you think was the?
I can tell you an example of one. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I was spraying, and we had, when I say spraying, we did weed control fertilization for yards. And if I stayed into that realm, that's what I needed to push, because that's the most scalable. I was doing 600 yards by myself, 5 treatments a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to have a license for it. You could charge a little bit more, like you get a little more on the labor side. Like it was making money, right? The mowing's kind of a bummer, break even deal. But so I bought he probably didn't care if I tell you. I bought my chemical and stuff. I sprayed at McGraw. Well, the guy that runs the place, his name Jason?
I don't know.
Okay, so there's a guy that runs the place.
I know McGraw. I don't know.
So Chris, it's Chris's boss. Whoever Chris's boss is, I don't know. Tell names. It doesn't matter. So he's like,
they might say, they might not.
I don't care. I mean, nothing I'm gonna say is bad. Yeah. So bad about myself. So he's like, hey, can you spray my place? This one guy did it. I didn't like the results. I was like, oh yeah, I come behind the hunt all the time. I'll come spray. So I get out there and I spray. It takes me a little longer because it's bigger. I didn't have a big sprayer at the time. I had just a smaller sprayer, but still a ride-on. Got it sprayed. And I did not read the room. And he was there after work with his wife. Kids were there and not there. And I talked too much, too long. I became I call it an ear raper. Mm. Now, he's never called me back for a job. Never said hi again. And I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I just chatty Cathy'd him too much. They're just people wanting to go in. Yeah. And I wouldn't let them, And so, now, does it seem that bad on the surface? No, but it haunts my ass. Not really haunts me, but it's just like, I'm smarter than that. I was tired. I'd been working nonstop for,
and you were trying to provide, you over delivered the customer service. I
did. He did not want that.
Yeah, he just wanted.
He just wants his damn yard sprayed and leave. Yeah, here's the check. Get out of here. And to this day, that was probably one of the biggest lessons. But the bummer is, it's a guy that runs the whole deal here, and that could have worked into other stuff later. And I'm not saying I just talk to people just because of that. I'm just saying
that's what I'm trying to say with this. With my situation, that doesn't mean that I'm just trying to weasel my way into every relationship.
I don't weasel my way. Like, I'm just friends with people. If we wind up doing business, great. If we don't, we're still gonna be friends. Like, I don't care. Like, that's not my sole purpose, is to make money or be greedy or nothing like that. Like, I have a good time. I'm respectful. We like the same things. We'll enjoy doing the same things together. Yeah. That's great. Like, I'm not trying to say.
See, I think that's what happened though. I think when I sold that hard enough, I think we're on the same boat on this. Yeah. I think that's what happened. It seemed like I was trying to weasel my way into this relationship with this individual.
Right. And you're not.
No. I think at this point, I'm like, whatever.
But here's another thing, too. It's so hard because I used to be there. We're providing a service or a product. people have to know what the product and stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you offer too much to people that don't want it. And I did that a lot in the mowing deal. And it finally, I finally just let them ask me. I know it's horrible, but like marketing 101 is probably not let the customer ask, but also it comes from a different perspective. If they're like, do you know anybody that,
Oh, sorry.
you good? Know anybody that does this? And you're like, yeah, we take care of that.
Yeah.
I think you're coming from a different angle where you're not trying to oversell it. Now, we all make mistakes. We all say stuff we shouldn't say or do stuff we shouldn't
Yeah, I
do.
think that was a big one for me right there. But I mean, if it would have worked, I think the relationship now is a lot better though. Hopefully, we see him on here soon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Fred?
Yes, the camera is about to die.
Damn, the battery's going away fast.
Really?
It's been 47 minutes.
Oh, damn,
I didn't realize
we've been
that.
chatting away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope it makes any sense.
So it'll make sense to somebody, man.
Yeah. I think though we covered like you can't just say you're get an investor and you get
No, yeah, I think there has to be a track record. I think I back to that topic. I think it's one of those things that once you start doing deals and you start proving, I think these things kind of fall in place by themselves. If you push it too hard, we go back to the selling point. You start selling way too much, and people are like, no, that seems kind of. He seems like he's a little too hungry for that. Let me backpedal, and not hungry in a good way.
So it's funny. Sorry, this little jag.
Yeah.
Life is like that, right? Like to get the girl, can't seem desperate, but you got to know that you're looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
To make a living, you got to say something, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want to seem desperate. It's crazy the balancing act there. But
And I don't think you ever master it.
no, never.
But you'll get closer. You go from strikes to, some outfields.
I heard about this guy today, and this is not anything monumental. He started a lawn business this spring, right?
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but this lady was needing work, and I said, "Look, they're that guy." So they asked him. He's like, "Oh no, I'm just doing commercial." And to me, that's like the investor deal. It's like you don't just get commercial,
Yeah.
especially if you don't know what you're doing
No.
and your chops, and you got to have some. Like you don't just get.
Well, I
that.
would assume that in the lawn business, when you start getting commercial, I think the more the contracts might be harder to understand than the
Way
mowing
harder.
itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, so there's the caveat to this. I guess he posted on Facebook yesterday. Anybody looking for any lawn service before the water comes or the rain starts? Well, let me tell you from experience. If you're not completely jumping through your rear before the rain hits, you might want to not tell people you're doing just commercial.
Yeah.
Like he should be covered up.
He should be
right?
covered
Yeah,
up.
he
huh?
should be covered up. Yeah. Yeah.
He shouldn't be
And
making
then this
rounds
has
left
I
and
don't
right.
know the guy. This is all just, But I was like, I
But
think
let-
I might change my angle of approach there.
And if he listens to this, I think what's gonna determine his growth in his business is the way he
I'm not talking bad about
digests.
him at all. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so, but he might be like, "Oh,
guy.
man, what do you know?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, dude, I
mean,
had a lawnmower business."
There's not a lot that I know, but what I do know, I try to learn a lot about that.
Yeah.
So
It's like my brother wanted to start a lawnmowing business like 2 years ago, and I said, well, just get like a mower or something. And then you told me your mower was like $18,000. I'm like, oh man.
yeah, and like I said, I'm not picking on him or nothing. I just got to thinking, I was like, that's not the same.
Man, I go, we go back to earning stripes. I think you earn your stripes to say things like that,
Mm-hmm.
And then you got people that don't earn stripes, and then, but I mean, eventually they'll get them if they get after it.
And it is hard for me unless I like actually stop and think about how to get to where I'm at, because I'm always trying to think about the next level or the next
Yeah.
thing I can do to improve. And I don't give myself, and you probably don't either, give yourself enough credit for all the stuff you did leading up to this point. And I'm not saying I'm somebody, I'm not saying I'm anybody special.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that would love to be where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Not,
I hope there's a lot of people that love to be sitting here that you can too.
That's right. But like, I have to remember, like, there is people that would love to be where we are and
Yeah.
doing what we're doing and accomplish what we have. And it kind of, then I have to stop at that.
But see, those same people don't want the problems.
yeah, that's nothing but problems.
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah.
That's and this is when I was running through that issue with this whole city and all that financing and all that. I told my wife, I said, "Man, is this even worth it?" And then I sat there and I said, I need to stop being a bitch. You know,
Yeah.
I told myself I need to stop being a bitch because
I had this conversation.
5 years ago, I mean, we might have been very comfortable, but there was no room, no growth, nothing. And what is life without struggle?
You could always quit.
Exactly.
You can always quit.
Yeah.
But what if?
But
You
what
don't.
if?
What if you don't?
Yeah.
What if you keep your head down? What if you eat crow? What if you get humbled? What if you say, I was wrong?
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
Took Edison 500 times.
Yeah.
What's it? KFC? I think it was like 60.
Oh, he was in his 70s when he
Yeah.
figured that out. He figured out Social Security wasn't going to be enough money.
Yeah,
And
man.
he said, I can't live on this.
So it's never too late to get
Colonel
after it.
said, oh, it don't matter your age. Why does it matter? You got what you got. You don't know how much you got.
Yeah.
And, you're where you're at and where you're headed. Where you been, learn from it. But, like,
You can't change it.
that's where you've been. That's
Yeah.
not where you're headed. You know?
Living in the past is depression. Living in the future is anxiety.
Yeah, that's good. I never thought about that one.
Just live today.
I seen a video earlier. It's talking about where teddy bear come from.
Where did it come from?
Do you know that?
Uh-uh.
So, allegedly, I don't want to say it like fact. Allegedly, they took Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt,
Oh, yeah?
out hunting, right? And he was going to go bear hunting. Well, being the president and all, they trapped this bear. They put him in a cage, right? And he's like, "No, y'all let the bear go." I mean, they were going to let him go and then shoot him, I guess. He's like, absolutely not.
But they're gonna
He
stage
said,
it so that he had a.
this is not how I want to do this. Like, I want to do it for sport.
The real
Go
way.
out and hunt. And anyway, so they let the bear go, and then there become, of course, at the time it was just magazines and stuff. So they put it out that these political cartoons about Teddy saving the bear and all this. Well, then they got to name the bear Teddy's Bear. Well, now
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear. That's where Teddy bear come from. So, but that toy company took it and ran with it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, think about how many teddy bears have been sold since 1902. That was
I
1902.
think that's a brand that's never gonna go away.
Never go away. No matter what you
It,
do.
it could be Build a Bear. They will know it as Teddy Bear. That's a teddy bear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter
It's
what
like
company.
a skill saw.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's never a circular saw.
Well, Bobcat.
Same thing. Everybody, you gonna bring your Bobcat? I don't own a Bobcat,
Oh, Kubota.
but I Kubota track
well,
loaders.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
But it's a Bobcat.
but it's a Bobcat. Yeah. So teddy bear, same thing. It all happened because the guy did the right thing. He's like, nah, not doing it. Or in my mind, he
Yeah.
did the right thing. Some people might say, oh, kill the bear, whatever.
Hey, so I was thinking about this. D.R. Horton.
They come out with some stuff. Have you seen the news lines on them?
No.
Go ahead.
I think I've seen some of the stuff, and it's like okay,
Oh,
production.
they're just pumping the brakes.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But I think on the building.
Well, I mean, they close 80,000 a year, and they're saying it's lower now than it's ever been.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think they're 37 billion dollar company.
Oh, like market cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes.
Uh.
Yeah, that probably down. a
So
little.
I tell everybody.
That wasn't 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I bet they're more. Because they're traded, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if that's the number one, and I think there's I don't know how many construction companies out there. There's quite a bit of them, and if you could be 1% of that,
Yeah.
what's 1% of that? 3 million,
300 million.
300 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1% of
350 million.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hell, if you could be
3.5 would
point,
be 10%.
0.0,
3.5 billion would be 10%. Move the decimal one more. 350.
yeah,
million.
350 million.
Yeah.
I mean, so why? This is what I tell people. Why can't you chase your dreams if you could? And this goes in every market, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to sell flowers and the biggest flower seller it's 10 million or 10 billion, 1% of that is 1 million. Why can't you go after that?
100 million. Yeah.
and I'm not saying be a settler, but if you aim for that and then you land at 1%, you're golden.
Yeah. Well, think about this: 80,000 closings a year on new homes.
That's ridiculous.
Think about that, and you move some properties.
Yeah. I know some guys that think they're production, but that think that they manage in big volumes. I said, man, I've framed in places where they put up 40 houses in a week, 50 houses in a
Man,
week.
I'm telling you, the first introduction I had to you, I was building chain link fence, and I went on a Sunday. Nobody hears about that.
Yeah.
I was working because of a situation we needed to get done, and I was scattering material on Sunday, and there was 9 pads in front of me, way more pads around.
Yeah.
But 9 pads by the stretch of fence I was building on a Sunday. The lumber was there, bricks were there. Okay. Friday, they were bricking the first one.
1 week after.
5 days.
5 days, yeah.
They're bricking that one, decking the last one. Not last. And they
Yeah.
did more. But I'm just saying, in that row,
And that, yeah.
at your job. And you know what I said? I got to get faster.
Yeah, man, I seen.
And not that, so everybody said, oh, they just slammed them in there. Well, them cookie cutter homes, I love
Yeah.
that. It's like,
It takes
you
an
go
art.
build more than 4 at once,
Yeah.
and you don't do the same, Also, like, once you get a good floor plan, why would you not just keep building that?
Well, it's like I told you, man. I kind of struggle to build one. I think I'm better at building more than 10 than
are,
one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything averages out when you're doing 10 and more.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you're telling me I struggled with one too. No, but yeah, that the more I'm doing, the easier it's getting.
Yeah.
The more I'm doing it once.
I got some stuff coming up. We'll talk about it after. Well, we got a lot of stuff coming up actually.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be
We
good.
can check back in too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that we're doing right now. We got 12 coming up in one little subdivision, and the
Oh, I didn't mean like houses wise.
Oh, you got some other stuff coming up?
Yeah, the other stuff we were talking about too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do have
yeah.
some stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll bring that out later.
Oh yeah.
We got to set it up right.
We do
Like
need
we
to talk-
said,
we need to
some
talk about
people don't like the good news.
That's right.
So we gotta when it's for sure we'll let it go.
For sure. I like that idea too. That's good stuff on that too. But yeah.
Well, I think that's a good way to wrap it up, man.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Become the person that people say yes to before they even know what the offer is.
Don't listen to people that you wouldn't take advice from.
Money. And don't forget you can too.
That's right.
All right, man.